Right, so I'll ask you first, Brian, and then I'll ask Nobbsy the same question.
Okay, mate.
Okay, so it's just a favourite, and then just give us a little reason why. So, favourite ground that you played at?
White Hart Lane. That was when we played them in the League Cup when Gazamania was at its height, 1990, and he'd just come back from Italian 90, obviously, and it was only like early month September, first round of the League Cup, and he scored 3 against us. So obviously to play against him there at White Hart Lane was brilliant. Like I say, it was at the height of Gazamania as well.
Nobbsy, favourite ground?
Yeah, I think you've got to say the atmosphere when we went down to White Hart Lane was like unreal, and like Gascoigne, to actually see him like in the flesh, how good he was at that time. He was just like head and shoulders above everyone. I remember him, he was giving it that all the time, and I think Tuppy was marking him. Tuppy always used to have like long hair. In fact, I've never seen Tuppy in 2 years wash his hair in the shower. And anyway, he was marking Gascoigne, and Gascoigne had scored a hat-trick, and he was giving it this, and he was slagging Tuppy off, and he was calling all the names under the sun, like. And anyway, Tuppy cracked him one time, like, and the referee come over and that, like. The referee stood, and Gascoigne was behind him. Gascoigne got his hand behind Tuppy's hair, yanked Tuppy's hair, pulled his head back, and Tuppy went to jump on him. This is like near the end of the pitch, and tried to jump on him going down the tunnel and that, like. We had to pull him off him and stuff and that, like. He was just unreal. He just like couldn't get close to him. Yeah.
That, at the time, he was incredible. I remember we stayed over that night. Remember, Nobbs, we stayed after the game as well, because it was actually still Noel going back to Tottenham. Went for a meal, and Gaza lived in Waltham Abbey, the hotel where we were staying. He actually lived in there. And he said, "Oh, you staying there? I'll see you when you get back." And we got in. We had to go for a meal, and he was basically in the corner of the where the bar was, and there was like 18 pints lined up for the lads only. And him and stayed up till about 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. But on the pitch, he was unplayable that night. Unbelievable.
Yeah. No. Crazy.
I'm not sure, but you might have already answered the next one. Number 2, who was the toughest opponent?
Well, obviously, Alan Little was both the toughest. When I played, was when I played for Darlow, funnily enough, and we played Mansfield Town. And a bloke called Billy Eyre, who was a legend at Hartlepool as well. Absolute, honestly, like that, rock solid. And he used to kick anything at moves. Nobbs, you probably know him, Billy Eyre. You know, God,
Billy was a hard lad, centre half, brought up old school, brother,
proper. And he played like left-sided centre half. I was playing right winger for Darlow, and he just frightened my life out of me. To be fair, I've never been so happy to get substituted in my life, like, because he was just a different level. Like Alan Little was the toughest I played with, and Billy Eyre was the toughest I played against.
Nobbsy?
I would say, lad, Billy Whitehurst.
Oh yeah,
big centre forward. I tell you what, you didn't mess with him. He's such a big lad, like, I tell you what. I remember one time he got sent off when we were playing at Hartlepool.
Doncaster, yeah.
And Benny, like, tackled him in the box, and he got upset with Benny. Benny was, like, on the floor. He knocked him to the floor, and he started jumping up and down, trying to stamp on his head. And he, like, absolutely lost it. And the referee sent him off. So Billy's, like, walking from the top goal, walking down the pitch. And I imagine must have shouted at him, "Yeah, get off, son!" Like, you know what I mean. So Billy just stopped in his tracks and just walked straight over to him. He says, "Keep your mouth shut, son." He was like, "Whoa," you know. But he used to do like bare knuckle fighting and stuff. Him. Yeah. When he left football, he was. I heard a few stories about him. Like, you didn't mess with him at all. Like, he just absolutely just clip you. You know. Bob Newton as well. Bob, big strong lad. Remember, like, Billy Owner got upset with him one time, like, saying as though he wasn't putting himself about and stuff and that. Like, you know what I mean? Boy, Billy, what you want me to do? Like, he says, go in there and rough the keeper up, son, and get at him. Like, you know what I mean? So they had this corner, and Bob just went, poof, knocked the keeper out. Got sent off straight away.
Yeah.
Oh, you asked for it, didn't you? You know? You just knocked him out. Yeah.
Right, next question, and this doesn't have to be one that you've worn, but your favourite strip. Brian, I think I might know yours, but favourite strip or one that when you were growing up that you loved or you wanted to have?
Well, it was always a black and white one, I think, growing up, mate. But that favourite Hartlepool strip was the year after we got promoted. The chessboard strip, I think, it was a Buckler strip. That was my favourite kit playing for Hartlepool. But I always seemed to have a Newcastle kit when I was little growing up. I always had the black and white stripes.
You always had the black and white stripes on holiday, didn't you, brother?
Oh,
black and white every single day.
25-year-old still wearing a football strip.
7 black and white shirts, 1 for each day, brother.
Still do it now. I'm 50-year-old.
Favorite strip?
Favorite strip? I used to like when I was at Middlesbrough. I used to like. Used to have this away strip that used to be like really dark blue and black stripes and light blue shorts and stuff and that, like a bit like Inter Milan or whatever, like, you know what I mean? That was always a shirt that you wanted, like for training, you know, when you had a training and stuff and that, you used to get the shirt. Yeah. Like, they used to try to keep all of them because they were just like, almost like collector's items, you know, not many of them about, like, you know, yeah.
I remember when I was growing up, and it's probably to do with the cup finals, Ricky Villa and Ozzy Ardiles, that Spurs strip.
Yeah,
I wanted to get my hands on one of them, but there wasn't many of them in Pelton, that's all, you know what I mean? Right, Nobbsy, this might be an easy question for you, and once I've answered it, hopefully I can go a little bit further into it, but favourite goal?
Favourite goal? I'll have a think about that one, brother.
To be honest, I've just recently found out that you only scored 1 goal, which makes me look absolutely prolific. So anytime anyone has a go at me now for being like only scoring 4 goals, I'm just going to turn it on to you.
Yeah, well, I wasn't the best for scoring them, brother. You know what I mean? Stopping them, mind you, I think I scored 2 own goals one time in one game, diving headers. So I don't know whether they count.
They count, absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in the opposition's net, Nobbsy. Ryan?
My favourite goal, probably that when we played Stockport in the League Cup, basically last minute, just come over my shoulder and I just seemed to like sort of half volley it. I've been telling everybody it was from inside my own half for about 10 years, and then it just YouTube come out, didn't it? Found out far out, really. It's only about 25 yards out. I've been dining out on it for about 25 years, saying I've scored my own half. But no, that's probably my favourite goal, yeah.
You read higher than the 2 Maidstone ones?
The Maidstone ones, obviously that was the promotion year as well, yeah. But another one, you know, I didn't score many, to be fair, Mark, but
there were good ones when you scored them, though, brother.
Pretty spectacular. I didn't get many tap-ins, to be fair.
Right, next question. Brad, we'll go you first. Funniest teammate that you played with?
Funniest? When he's had a drink, Rob McKinnon, because he's dry as sticks. John Tickers. Again, I'd just go back to Kevin Dixon as well. He was a character, absolutely. Nobbsy, funny as well, you know, so... But probably the funniest in drink after a few vodka and cokes is probably Rob McKinnon.
Nobbsy?
Yeah, Tinks was always a good laugh. Mosey was always a good laugh as well. Bry, flipping neck. He was always the life and soul of a party, was Bry, like, you know what I mean?
I agree with that. I agree with that, Nobbsy.
You know, like wherever you went and that, like, his storytelling and stuff and that, like, he was always absolutely spot on, like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. Right, next question, Brian. Go to you. Ugliest teammate?
Oh. Ugliest teammate? Oh, well, do you think Joe will be listening to this or what? Or... Well, I can't say that, Mickey. Ugliest teammate? Wow.
Oh, you've got to answer, pal. Or just point if you think it's Nobbsy.
I'll give him the big windy hammer if he does.
No, Nobb's a good-looking lad. Yeah, I think it's since he got his teeth and that knocked out. I would probably say Joe Allen. Joe Allen with his teeth out. I'm being a bit diplomatic there. I don't think Nobbs would be able to get any worse than that.
Nobbsy?
Ugliest teammate. There was a few lads took a lot of ugly pills, brother.
Name them, then.
There was a good few about. I can't think of them. I don't know. Yeah, maybe he might be right with Joe. Like Joe's on the line there, like brother. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe it's for the gold medal.
Joe'll be good with that.
Just with his teeth out. That's all.
Yeah.
Right. Next question: who was the fastest teammate that you played with? The quickest, the fastest?
Oh, Ricardo Gabardini, I think. Marco's brother. He was absolutely lightning. In fact, when he was playing with us, there was a thing like the Football League used to have like a bit of a competition. You used to send your fastest player in, and he got to the finals before like a League Cup final or something. The only problem with Ricardo was he couldn't kick a ball. It was absolutely like lightning, but give him a ball.
You used to wind him up, brother, like one of those toys. You used to wind up. Whoosh.
He could run like hell, but he was a terrible footballer, to be honest. Like, he used to just run out, didn't he? Run out the pitch and end up going at the advertising hoardings and like, but he was, he was lightning, big, strong thighs. He was like proper built like a sprinter. But unfortunately, he was a footballer, which was a bit of a shame.
I remember Gabbers has got the same build. When he came from Darlington, I'll never forget his first training session. He trained, and Gabbers was never like the best trainer in the world. You know what I mean? I know he was getting on at the time. But we went to do a shooting session, and at the time you'd get like 3 shots from each side. So everyone's watching Gabbers thinking, oh, he's going to mess up here because his training so far has been absolutely terrible. Out of 6 shots, he put every single shot in the top corner.
Hey.
And I was like, whoa, what a player this, you know what I mean? And I always found Gabbers really hard to play against because, like you say, he was strong, he was quick. He
could big ass and that, yeah.
Yeah, what a finisher he was as well. Nobbs, anyone different to the fastest team, mate? Or?
Yeah, well, when I was at Middlesbrough, there was no one as quick as Craig Johnson. Ended up going to Liverpool. I tell you what, he was not only a quick lad, but his endurance was just unreal. You couldn't get near him on the long. We used to go on like long runs pre-season and stuff and that. Like, and he'd be at home having a cup of tea. Like, you know what I mean? He was just so quick, so fit. He was just. I've never seen anyone like him. Like you couldn't get near him like on a pitch. You know, his endurance was just out of this world. Yeah.
Right. Next question: the biggest drinker.
Oh. I think Joe might take that title as well, to be fair. But
Mick Tate. Mick Tate, brother.
Mick Tate. Oh, I tell you, mate, what am I thinking?
No one.
What am I thinking?
No one can outdrink him.
International, wasn't
he would just like sup, and he'd knock the pints back, and then if you were like lagging behind and leaving, he was like, "Here, passes that over. Here, don't waste a good pint," and he'd neck it. And then you'd be getting another one. He'd be drinking twice as many as what you were drinking. And any that you were like leaving, he was, you can't leave a good pint. Here, pass it over.
And then train the next day, wouldn't he?
He wasn't bad at all, was he? He said he could drink, and he was never bad, was he? Yeah.
No, never, ever. Still the same big drinker. And he hasn't got an inch of fat on him.
No,
like that.
No.
Yeah.
I remember when I was at Middlesbrough, when Brian Robson came, and everyone was like, oh, I should say Robbo would drink, man. It's unbelievable. So we were all like a bit worried. And first day in training, he sat us all down at Ayerson Park on the grass. And he was like, lads, you probably all heard the stories about how much I can drink. And he was like, they're all true. Every single one of them's true. And he says, if you can drink as much as I can and come in the next day and train, that's all right with me. So the lads are like clapping their hands like, "Whoa, hey, get in." Well, then he went, but if I can see you being out on a drink, that'll be the end of you. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the stories you hear about him. Me and Craig Little used to go out and sit in Chelsea Street, and we used to have a lad go into the pubs ahead of us in case Robbo was in the pubs. And one day he hadn't seen him, so we walked into the pub. It's like a working men's club, and like we've had a few pints. It was Sunday afternoon, probably watched a bit of football. And he's seen us in the corner, and I've gone, Lids, we're going to be in trouble here. So he's called us over. You still get over here. Bear in mind, we were still pretty young at the time. And he was like, what do you think you're doing? You're out on a Sunday, we've got train tomorrow. And we were like, sorry, Gaffer, we're just coming in to find someone. We're going home, giving it every excuse we could think of at the time. He went, right, you're staying here with me, and you're having a good few more pints. And next morning, I was rough as out, and he was like, have you learnt your lesson, Mickey? I was like, aye, Gaffer, I'm not drinking with you again. Right. Next question: the teammate you wouldn't want in your family?
Oh well, because he's so thick, and I would be embarrassed to say he was in my family, would be a lad called, well, probably all of them, Nicky Southall. He was thick as that. He said, Nobbs, he'll tell you the tale, and it's absolutely 100% true. We're it was a Monday coming to training, and he's got like sort of a triangle mark on his rib cage, and it's
someone caught him. Someone caught him first on his chest, like, and he's like, oh, what's that?
That's right, yeah. So anyway, we said, what the hell's that there, Nicky? What's that on there? He said, oh, don't ask. Howie, what's the matter? He said, well, what happened was, getting ready to go out on Saturday night, my mates come round, buy my shirt, blah, 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 put my shirt on, realised that I've missed a crease in my shirt. So rather than get the ironing board out back again, rather than take my shirt off, I've ironed my shirt on my body. So he's planted the iron on his rib cage there, and it's gone through. So he's on the Monday, he's got a triangle with Murphy Richards on.
You could see all the marks where the steam used to come out as well.
The little triangles, and the Murphy Richards was on there. Yeah. Proper triangle. He's ironed the shirt on his body. So I think, yeah, I'd be embarrassed to say, like, if he was my son.
It's a good job he didn't iron his collar. Yeah.
He's going to iron his hat.
Yeah.
I remember Michael Mackay. He was pretty thick, Macca, like, and he was late for training once. So we was all sitting in training, and we were like, yes, he's a fine coming from Macca. And he's come running along with his bag over his shoulder, we used to, running down fast as he could. We're like, fine, Mackie, you're late, 50, like 30 quid, 40 quid, whatever it is. He was like, no. I've got evidence. So we're like, right, come on, show us it. And he got his phone out. He had a picture on his phone, and it had like Capital or something like that on. We're like, Mackie, what evidence is that? He was like, well, it said on Capital there was some roadworks. That's just a picture of the word capital. And he was like, no, roadworks. If you look at Capital, it'll tell you there was roadworks on him.
What was the one about Nicky Southall and the car, Brian?
Oh,
me before. What was that?
So we're sitting on the bus, you know, like when you're waiting to go away on a Friday, you're waiting for the bus, you're waiting to get the skips parking, and Nicky's come flying through, right? I think it was a Fiesta. He used to have a battered Ford Fiesta. So he's come screeching into the car park, rushing onto the bus, just like what Micky was saying, running onto the bus, out of breath like that, sits next to me. So I'm like, Nicky, I said, you're in the first team now. You're going round in a banger like that. Why don't you sell it? Why don't you get rid of it and sell it? He went, I can't, mate, I can't. He says, it's got 200,000 miles on the clock. I says, Nicky, I said, I've got a mate down Church Street. He's got a garage. Go down next week. Tell him I've sent you. You'll turn the clock back. Turn the clock? What do you mean, turn the clock back? I says, just go down. Tell him I sent you. Give him a tenner. He'll turn the clock back for you. Okay. So anyway, about 2 weeks later, playing Exeter away again. Same crap. Comes in the Ford Fiesta, screeching the car back. Sits next to me again. I went, Nicky. I said, not sold that car. Like. You're not getting rid of that car. Not sold it yet. So when you're joking, it's only got 30,000 miles on the clock. True. Honestly, he's thick as a chop.
I tell you what, he might have got on well with Michael Mackay, because I remember Macca came to Magaluf once with us, and we were driving down in there was me, probably Tinks, Bracker, Ali Gibb was in the car. I don't know why Ali was in the car, and Macca. So Ali was a clever lad. He was like a financial advisor. He used to do bits and pieces. So Macca started talking to him. I'm driving, and Macca's gone, Ali, can you explain about mortgages? I'm thinking, good luck with this, Ali. So for about 25 minutes down the motorway, Ali's telling me about different types of mortgages, how you repay it back, the interest, this, that, and the other. And you could see Macca trying to take it all in, and he's like, right, okay. So we got at the end and got to get out of the car at Manchester, and I was like, Macca, you started with all that mortgage stuff, right? He was like, I'm definitely going to get a mortgage. I was like, right. I was like, so have you got a house you're going to buy? He went, a house? I'm going to buy a car with it. Honestly, man.
Well,